Hey, this is Mr. Benson coming to you from D106, and I thought I'd just give you a little bit of help on this practice quiz you just took today to help you all get ready for the actual quiz tomorrow, quiz 1.1 to 1.4 that most of you will be taking. So I'm just going to go through every problem, solve every problem, give you an idea of what I'm thinking of how to solve these problems. So for this first problem here, we want to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line containing the indicated points. Do not include any spaces in your answer. Okay, so the biggest problem I see is we're writing an equation. So make sure you underline that, or just note that, because I'm finding people that even though it says writing equation, you're giving the slope, or maybe it says slope up here, give the equation. So make sure you're giving what you need to give. So let's start off with writing our equation. Well, first off, to write the equation, you want to think y equals mx plus b. Okay, that's the slope-intercept equation, y equals mx plus b. And so we want to write the equation in that form. Now, to find this equation, we want to find two things, our m and our b. Once we find those two things, we plug them right in here and plug it right in there. Okay, but sometimes there's shortcuts, and sometimes you can see a shortcut just by looking at the 2 points. When I look at these two coordinates right here, I notice that this 4 and this 4, both of them are my y's. Those two 4's are the same. And so if you think about it this way, if you have a coordinate plane right here, and you had a point at -9, 1, 2, 3, 4, point right there, and another point at 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. If you had a line going through that, you have a flat line. And where does that flat line cross? It crosses when y is equal to 4. So your equation in this, you can just jump to the fact that because the y's are the same, and they're both 4, you go, the equation is y equals 4. So that's what you would plug in there. Y equals 4 on this one. Let's get that in there. Ooh, I should set this up so you guys can like check right away. Okay, let's go to the next one. So this one is write the equation of a line with the slope of m equals 6 through the points -2, 4. First, you want to zoom in, right? Just so you make sure you're reading this correctly. So, we want an equation of a line through this point with this slope. So we're going to start off with our y equals mx plus b. Let's clear this. So we want to find our y equals mx plus b. Well, we know the m, they gave that to you. So we're going to start off with y is equal to 6x plus b. Now that we know that at this point, we're going to take this point in there, and we're going to plug it in, because what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to solve for this b right here. That's our goal. So if we take the 4, we plug it in for our y, we have 4 equals 6 and -2 times -2 plus b. Okay, so 6 times -2 is 12, so I got 4 is equal to 12 plus b. And you can maybe reason through what this might be. 12 plus what is 4? Well, we know this what's got to be negative because we're going down. But if you're not sure, you subtract 12 from both sides, subtract 12, and I get b is equal to -8. Now that I have my b as -8, I'll take that and I plug it back into the formula right here. So my final solution is y equals 6x minus 8. And that's what I'll put in there. Y equals 6x minus 8. And moving on. Okay, is this a linear equation? We got to look at it and answer that. Is this linear? And I'm going to say this was not linear, and here's how I know it's not linear. See the square right there? That square tells me that it is not linear. Any functions that have a square in it are not linear functions. Let me get this writing tool back up there. So if you see that, it's not linear. Another way to know if it's linear or not, another thing to look for is, let's say you have y equals 3 over x plus 7. Notice this x is in the denominator. That one would also make it not linear. But don't get thrown for a loop when you see a fraction and think that's not linear. If I had y is equal to 3 over 4x plus 7, this one's actually linear because this x is not in the denominator. So that's what you want to look out for. Is the x in the denominator? No. Is the x ever squared or cubed or to the 5th power? No. If you see those two things, then you're pretty sure that it's going to be a linear function. So let's answer that. No, not linear. Okay, moving on to the next function right here. We've got to figure out the equation of the line containing the points -4, 10, -4, 8. Did you notice that I said something twice? Hopefully you did, because if you did, you notice that these negative 4s were identical. Check that out. Okay, but now they're not the y's like they were in that earlier problem. They're both x's. So for this situation, if you think about it graphically, we got this point at negative 4, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then maybe let's make this 10 right up here. So we got a point right there, and then we got this point at negative 4, 8. So 4, and then up here at 8. So what type of line connects through 2 points that are right above each other? Well, this is a vertical line. And if we all remember, vertical lines are the form x equals, where do they cross over the x-axis? Well, where does this one cross over the x-axis? 4. So actually negative 4. So we got x equals negative 4 for our solution here. You could just jump right to that conclusion. Both the x's are negative 4, therefore you know your equation is x equals negative 4. Okay, moving on, we got to find the slope of the line containing the point negative 4, 9 and 1, 9. The slope, we're looking for slope this time, right? So that changes the problem up. We're just trying to find that m. What did you guys notice about that function? Something fancy about that function. Well, maybe you noticed that the y's were the same. And when the y's are the same, again, if we come back to this, if the y's are the same, we got 2 points at the same height. One's at, let's say this is 1 and this is 9, and the other one's at negative 4 and a height of 9. And if you have 2 points at the same height, what's the slope of that line? Well, don't say undefined, because it's not undefined. It's actually a slope of 0. So our m is equal to 0 in this situation. What I want you to put here is m equals 0 or 0. That's what I would like you to put into this spot right there for this problem. 0. If I got these all right. Moving on to problem number 7. We want to find the y-intercept of the line that is made by this equation, 6x minus 5y equals 14, or 15, excuse me. So let's go back. I'm going to just rewrite this here. Really, if you think about it, we want to get this in this form, this equation, mx plus b, and what we care about is the b. That's what we're looking for. So let's, we've got 6x minus 5y equals 15. And so we're going to get this y by itself. We'll subtract 6x from both sides. Now remember, these aren't like terms. Because they're not like terms, we can't combine them together. We're just going to leave them kind of separated. We got 5y is equal to 15 minus 6x. And now we still got to get this y by itself. How is this y connected to the negative 5? Well, through the multiplication. So we're going to divide each of these terms by negative 5. By negative 5, by negative 5. Okay. So this leaves us with y is equal to 15 divided by negative 5. Well, how many times does 5 go into 15? 3 times, but we got one negative down here, so it's negative 3. Minus plus, we got plus, because there's 2 negatives there, 6 over 5x. Now remember, our goal was to find the y-intercept. Well, what's the y-intercept? That's not the 6 over 5. It's actually this one right here. Here's your y-int, y-intercept. So this is what I would want to see in here. Now, you do not put, it's not y equals negative 3. You do not put that in here. I want to see b, because that's what y-intercept, b equals negative 3, or negative 3. And that's what I'm looking for, those two things. So we got negative 3. Next. Okay, problem 8 says write the equation in slope-intercept form, that's y equals mx plus b, for the line that contains this point and is parallel to this line right here. Okay, so again, let's set up this whole problem here. We want an equation, and our equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. I'll put this out here. Y equals mx plus b. We want to find the m and the b. And this is what they've given us right here and here. And we know this new line is parallel to this equation, right? It's parallel. Well, when two lines are parallel, I have two parallel lines, like these two lines that I just drew right here. Something's in common between those two lines, and that thing that is in common is the slope of this one, let's say it's m1, is actually equal to the slope of this line right here. So we know the lines have the same slope. So step 1 is to figure out the slope of this equation right here. So let's do that. I'll just take this 2y minus 6x equals 4, move it down here. I'm going to try to get this y by itself to get it in this form. Then I know what the slope is right there. So we'll add 6 to both sides, 6x plus 6x. So I get 2y is equal to 6x plus 4. Next step to get this y by itself is divide every term by 2. So I got y is equal to 3x plus 2. There's our slope, and we know the slopes are parallel, so the slope of my new line is going to be 3. Okay, so I have that now. Now what I need to do is I need to figure out the b for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this equation right over here, but I'm going to plug my 3 in for my m. So y equals 3m, or 3x. That's an x. Really bad looking one though. Let's erase it. Okay, start over. Y equals 3x plus b. And now I'm going to take this point that was given to me. I'm going to plug it in for my x and my y. So in this situation, my y is the negative 3, so I got negative 3 equals 3, and my x is 6. 6 plus b. Okay, let's solve. So 3 times 6 is 18, I think. Positive 18 though. Plus b. Divide minus 18 from both sides, minus 18. So I got b is equal to negative 21. Now I'm going to just take this right here. It's not my solution. And I'm going to plug it in for my equation right here. So my final solution for my new line that's parallel to the other line but goes through this point is y equals 3x minus 21. Right there. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. Moving on. Oh, I got to put it in there now, don't I? See how I did on this. Write the equation. Double check, you know, you're doing what they want you. Y equals 3x minus 21. You're doing what they want you to do. Okay, identify the slope m of the line given by the equation below. Okay, we just need to find slope. So we just need to get this equation, the slope intercept form. Once we do that, we got the slope. Oh, that's not too bad. We can do this. Okay, so clear everything up. So let's get this in y equals mx plus b form. This is our answer right there. So 3y, we got to get that by itself. Let's how about subtract 8 from both sides? So I got 3y is equal to 7x minus 8. And remember, I can't subtract these two; they're not like terms. So, and then I'm going to divide every term by 3 to get that 3 by itself. So when I do that, I get y is equal to negative 8 thirds. I don't even care about this, right? Because that's my intercept. And then 7 thirds x minus 8 thirds. So looking at this, I know it's not in this form, but it's kind of in this form. We could just rewrite this. I could put the y on the left side and this stuff on the right side. So I got really y is equal to 7 thirds x minus 8 thirds. Thus, my slope is 7 thirds. So I'll put that in. Identify the slope. Yep, that's what it wants me to do. Okay. Now in this, you could put m equals 7 thirds or just 7 thirds. I'm going to put the just 7 thirds option right there. Moving on. Well, this is going pretty well, I think. Oh, we got this graph here. I can't see it because I zoomed in too far. So let's zoom out a little bit. There we go. So we want, what do we want? What is the slope of the line? Okay, just slope. So you could do m equals or just the number. So we got 2 points given to us right here. We want to find the slope between these 2 points. Remember, slope is rise over run. So how far up and down it goes over how far left and right. You want to find 2 really good points. Nicely, they gave it to you on this one. Those are 2 nice points. So our rise, remember to look at the units over here. We go down 1 whole unit because this is up 1 and then down, so this is 2 altogether. And this is going by 1s here. They could change. So this is 4. So if you do rise over run, or I like to think of the sun over a dude running. Yeah, that's how I see it. Going left and right, because the sun goes up and down, right? And the dude goes left and right running. The slope is really 2 over 4, okay? And that simplifies down to 1/2. But what did Mr. Benson do wrong? Well, first thing you should notice is this is going down from left to right, and when a line's going down from left to right, that would mean that this is a negative slope. So I should have negative 1/2 right here, and maybe a negative 2 there, or negative 4, but we know altogether it is a negative slope. So again, you could put in, for this problem, you could put 1/2, you could put 0.5, you could put m equals 1/2, you could put m equals 0.5. All of those should be appropriate solutions. What's nice about leaving it as 1/2 is you can actually see what is the rise and what is the run. When you put it in as 0.5, that's a little bit more obscure. Moving on to the next one. It's gonna be embarrassing if I get one wrong, so I hope I don't do that. Okay, let's zoom back in just a little bit. Find the slope of the line containing the points. Okay, so let's see if there's anything unique about this. I got 4 here, 2 there, so those aren't the same. And I got 5 here and negative 7 there, so those aren't the same. So, okay, sorry about that, everybody. I just got distracted by somebody. Okay, so we wanted to find, what were we doing? We're finding the slope of the line containing these 2 points. I did rise over run and some weird stuff with that. So I got everything here that I wanted. Oh no, this is a new problem. Okay, so we're going to clear this up. We haven't done this problem yet. So again, I was looking at this 4 right here and this 2, and those aren't the same, right? And then the negative 7 and the 5, those aren't the same. So this is just using our formula for slope right now. We're going to go back and use that formula. So remember, slope formula, m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's just say this is our second point, and this is our first point. So y2 minus y1 would be negative 7 minus 5. So that minus that one. And then x2 minus x1 is 2 minus 4. So 2 minus 4. Did I do that right? Yeah, I did. I think so. So negative 7 minus 5 is $7 in the hole. You just spent $5 more. Now you're way in the hole at $12 in the hole. 2 minus 4, you have $2, you just spent $4. Now you actually are $2 in the hole. 2 negatives, when you divide them, actually make a positive. So our final solution is 12 divided by 2, which is 6. Not 1/6, everyone, 1/6. So make sure you do that right. So our slope is 6. So here what I would want to see is m equals 6 or 6. That's what I would hope you would put in there. I'll enter 6 in for that one. And moving on. Okay. We want to write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line passing through a certain point and it's all perpendicular. Holy cow. Holy cow. Perpendicular. So we got to do a couple more things here. But we got this. This is nothing. We got this. Okay. So let's start. First off, we want to find a line, an equation of a line. So we're going to start over here. I'm going to just put this y equals mx plus b, and we want to find the m and the b. Let's start off by finding this m. To find the m, we know that this new line, this line right here, is perpendicular to this line. Okay. So what is the slope of this line? Well, we know the slope of this. Oh, look, it's nice. They give us they give you the slope. It's right here. So the slope of this line, m is equal to 4. So my question is, if a slope of one line is 4, what's the slope of the perpendicular line? Well, that would actually be, remember what you do. Think of this 4 as 4 over 1. You flip these two. So it would be 1 over 4. And you ask yourself, is this one positive or negative? Well, this one's positive, so this one has to be negative. So the slope of the new line is actually negative 1 over 4. So I'll put that down over here. Negative 1 over 4. Okay. So we have that. Now, we know this new line, this new equation that we're going to write over here, goes through this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this equation right here with the negative 1/4 in it, y equals negative 1/4 x plus b. And now I'm going to take this point and plug it in to the x and the y right here. So let's see, negative 3 is my y, so negative 3 equals negative 1 over 4, and then my x is 8 plus b. Close that parenthesis off. 1/4 of 8. What's 1/4 of 8? There's 1/4. Okay, I think I got it. Negative 3 is equal to 1/4 of 8, which is negative 2 plus b. And then we're going to add 2 to both sides to get this b by itself. And so I got b is equal to negative 1. Now I know what my b is right here. Equal negative 1. So I can rewrite my new formula. My new formula of a line that is perpendicular to this line but goes through this point is y equals negative 1/4 x minus 1. Right like that. Now there's a lot of different ways you could put this in there. You could change that negative 1/4 to 0.25, right? But you don't have to do that. Just keep it as negative 1/4. So y equals negative 1/4 x minus 1. Is that right? I think I put that in right. Okay, next. 4 problems to go. Okay, write the equation in slope-intercept form for the line containing the following 2 points. So remember, first try to find something interesting in both these 2 points. Are the x's the same? Nope. This one's 2 and this one's negative 2, so that's not the same. I know there's 2's in them, but they're not the same. And the y's are the same. Nope, the y's aren't the same. So because of that, we can find the equation for this one. You get it? Okay, so first, again, we want to go find y equals mx plus b. We need to find the m and the b. Step 1 is the m. So let's find the slope of this equation right here. Let's do m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So my y2, let's make that 12. That's the 12. That's my second point. My y1 is 4. And then my x2 is negative 2 minus and 2. So 12 minus 4, that gets me 8. And negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So my slope is negative 2. There we go. So we got that down. M equals negative 2. Now I need to find this b. So I'm going to rewrite this equation here with the negative 2 in for my m right there. Y equals negative 2x plus b. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out, I'm going to choose a point. Any point. This one or this one. I'm going to plug that point into my equation. It doesn't matter which one you choose. So I'll take this one. My x is 2. My y is 4. So I got 4 is equal to negative 2 times 2 plus b. I got 4 is equal to negative 4 plus b. When I add these two together, or multiply them, add 4 to both sides, add 4. So I got b is equal to 8. Bring that up here. B is equal to 8. So my new equation is as follows. Y equals negative 2x plus 8. Negative 2x plus 8. Besides, this one doesn't have a fraction, so it's pretty easy to put in. No big worries here. Let's see. Y equals negative 2x plus 8. And you want to just double check when you put these things in. Make sure you didn't like do something silly, like put a space. You don't want to put spaces. It's going to count down when I just want you to know that. If you do that, it's wrong. I'll try to find it, but you might get it counted wrong right away. So don't put spaces. That's huge. Okay. Ooh, what's the slope of the line in the graph? Well, we'll probably have to zoom out for that one, right? Let's zoom out. Oh, check that one out. Vertical line. Going up and down. What's the slope of a vertical line? Don't say 0. It's not 0 in this situation. Slope of a vertical line that's the undefined one. Remember that? So this vertical line right here has an undefined slope, okay? If you were dealing with something like, I don't know, this line, this is a horizontal line. This has a slope, so this is a slope of 0. But this one, the slope is undefined right here, this vertical line right here. So just type in undefined. Undefined. Now if you spell it wrong, again, it's going to mark it wrong. I'm going to look for it. And I'll mark it right, but initially the computer will mark it wrong. So try to spell undefined right for the test tomorrow. I'm sure we'll have no problems doing that. Solve proportions. We're so close to being done. Okay, now remember, when you have two proportions, what's nice, what you can do is you can use something called cross multiplication. Okay, and here's how it works. You're just going to take the denominator right here. And you know what? I shouldn't teach you this because some people get the mistake of thinking they can use proportions or cross multiplication anytime they feel like it. You can only do it when there's an equal sign here, but some people will start thinking, oh, if you have x over 2 plus 3x over 4. Now you can do cross multiplication. And the only reason they think that is because they look so similar with this addition sign here to this equal sign there, but you can't do it in this situation. That's not when you use cross multiplication. It's only with the equal sign. So, well, first thing you got to multiply this 4 up here and multiply it by that. So I'm going to have 4 times x minus 4. That's for that one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take this 6 right here and multiply it up here to this. So you're going to set this equal to 6 times x minus 2. Okay. So now it's all about railroad tracking this thing. Railroad track it and figure out the solution. So let's start by distributing the left side right here. 4 times x, 4 times negative 4. So that is equal to 4x minus 16. And then 6 times x, which is 6x. 6 times negative 2, which is minus 12. Our goal is to figure out what this x is. Let's bring all the x's to one side. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. Remember, these are like terms, so I'm going to subtract these terms. That cancels that off. So I got negative 16. 16, not 61, is equal to 6x minus 4x, which is 2x minus 12. Okay. Now, we still got to get that x by itself, so I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Let's add 12 to both sides. And what I get is negative 4 is equal to 2x. And now, the last thing we need to do is divide by 2. Once we divide both sides by 2, we have x is equal to negative 2. Okay? So what is this saying? We want to solve proportion for x. So what I would do is, I know the x came on this side, but you would probably want to write it x is equal to negative 2. I will look for this, and hopefully I have that programmed in there, but it might shoot up as wrong. So x equals negative 2 is our solution for that one. Negative 2. Next, one more proportion. Let's do it. Oh, not a proportion. Solve the following equation for y. Your answer must be an equation which starts with y equals. So whatever it is y equals some number. So we're just trying to figure out what this y equals in terms of everything else around it. So it's really just using the railroad track method. This isn't too bad. I think we got this. So clean your annotation. Okay, let's get the y by itself. Wonder what we're going to eat tonight. Let's see. Okay. So let's just start it right over here so I have more space. We got 9x minus 3y equals 21. I'm going to subtract the 9x on both sides. So I got negative 3y is equal to 21 minus 9x. At this point, remember, we want to find what y is. We still got to get this y by itself, so I'm going to divide by negative 3 on both sides. So I got y, with these canceling out, is equal to, what's 21 divided by negative 3? It turns out to be negative 7. And negative 9 divided by 3, some might say that's negative, but really those two negatives make a positive, so I got 3x. Just to get it in the slope intercept, do we want it in that form? Does it even ask for it? Oh, it doesn't ask for it. So we can put it in like this. So our final solution is y equals negative 7 plus 3x. So I hope that video helps you out. Let's see what my score is. Oh, I hope I got them all right. Submit and finish. 2 wrong. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to see what I did wrong, and I'm going to get back to you guys on those. So here, this is one of the mistakes I made here, and this is why you should take your time, double check your work. Even I, the great Benson, make these mistakes. So let's go back. Let's solve this problem right here. We want to find the equation of the line. The answer is right here. So let's see if I can get there. We know the slope is 6, so we got y is equal to 6x plus b, because the slope's given to us. So we plug that 6 in for there. Now we got to just plug these points in here. I have no idea what problem or mistake I made before, but I'm going to plug the 4 in for the y is equal to 6 times negative 2 plus b. So negative 2 times 6 is negative 12 equals 4 plus b. I'll add 12 to both sides, add 12 to both sides, and I get b is equal to 16, which is the one we were really looking for. So our final solution is y is equal to 6x plus 16. So I'm sorry for making that mistake. That's why you want to take your time on these things. These are big points. Moving on to number 10. So number 10 said, hey, find the equation, where is it? Where did it go? Find the equation of the slope of this line. And I don't know what I was thinking. Did I just mistype it in? Maybe I did when I was talking before, but I also miscounted too. So check this out. We're zooming out here. So we want to find the slope of this line. I'm going to clear this annotation. I'm going to start from this nice point. I'm going down 2, right? And I'm going to this point. So we know the slope is negative. How much should I go down? 2. But I think last time when I counted I said 4. Well, it's not 4. It's really 5. So this equation should be -2, or slope should be -2/5. And that's what they have right down here. So sorry for those 2 mistakes. Hopefully you found it near the end. I'll note that I made 2 mistakes on 3 and 10 at the in the text message that I sent out to you guys. So when you guys go through this, you know that I'm making these crazy mistakes on this. Okay, so practice, get ready for the quiz tomorrow, and have a great night.